back to another Stylicious and delicious cake and candy episode. I'm kind of obsessed with flowers, so I thought I'd just create another Easter flower cake pop tutorial. So here we have some daisy cake pops. Have fun with that. As usual, I start with an already crumbled and mixed cake pop dough. You'll find the recipe in the top right corner. To create the daisy shape, I just formed some sort of a center where the dough was pinching out, and then I used a 1-inch cookie cutter to cut around that cake pop peak. And then I used a fondant tool, and I pressed down the dough that was around the cake pop peak. And then I pressed it down a little bit, and I made sure that it looks a little bit more roundish, because that will become the center of the flower. And I also added a little bit of extra dough on the very bottom because I realized it is a little bit too slim. And this is what the basic shape of our daisy looks like. Unfortunately, I forgot to film the part where we insert the stick to our cake pop. You can watch any of my cake pop videos and you will see how I insert the cake pop stick into the cake pop. In this step, you see me how I did my daisy cake pop. I dipped it completely in white candy coating, and then I made sure that all of the excess coating drips off the cake pop, and I do that by gently dabbing on the glass, and I do that with very quick motions. And then I just double check if there are any air bubbles, and if so, I destroy them with my toothpick. Next, we produce the petals of the daisy cake pop. And I used a regular flower cake pop mold, not cake pop mold, I'm just kidding, a regular fondant mold, which is available on Amazon. I leave a link in the description box below. And then I took a little bit of white fondant, or you can work with gum paste as well. And I put a little bit of the fondant into my daisy mold. And as you can see here, it works just perfectly fine by using a little bit of cornstarch. And you can see it here once again. Put a little bit of, I think it's cornstarch or baker's starch. And then gently putting the fondant into the mold. If you have any difficulties, you can leave that in the fridge for 10 minutes or so and then easily pull it out. In this next step, we are going to get rid of the center of the fondant flower, since we are only using the petals in our daisy cake pop tutorial. So I used a knife and I cut around the center to get rid of the center. And if you want to see more of the videos, click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell as well. And you can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest, and share my videos with the rest of Candyland. Then we bring the flower petals to the cake pop. Therefore, I use some white candy coating and a paper piping bag. And as you can see here, I'm just laying those petals right around the center, and I make sure everything is glued quite well, and everything that is a little bit too much, I try to get rid of it while it's still wet, and I arrange it till it has the perfect size and the perfect shape. And I repeat that step a second time to fill in those gaps. And I cut off a little bit and see if it fits, and if not, I do it again, use my knife, and yeah, well, in this case it already worked just fine. And to give the petals some sort of an extra stability, I used some more candy coating and did that at the other side of the cake pop as well. And to give our flowers some sort of a 3D effect, I decided to go for a second round of petals. So again, I used some white candy coating and put a second layer right around that center, and made sure that it looks nice and beautiful again. And use some more candy coating right behind the petals to make sure that they're standing beautiful and they're not falling apart. And of course I took a second piece of fondant and yeah, filled in the last gap. And finally, I added some shimmery nonpareils right into the middle of our daisy cake pop. I really like the look of it. So I took some piping gel and I went all around the center of the cake pop, and make sure you don't leave any bristles on the cake pop. Make sure that every part of the center is covered with piping gel smoothly and evenly, that the nonpareil will cover the whole center thing. And when everything was covered nicely, I took my nonpareils with which was basically orange and yellow, and I covered the whole center of the daisy cake pop. And I took a toothpick and I tried to get rid of the nonpareils that were on the petals, and I pushed them gently into the center, or I pushed them out of the cake pop. And this is pretty much how you do the cake pop. And here we have it, some quick and easy daisy cake pops. So candy cones, thank you so much for watching. If you like it, give it a like and leave a comment down below. I'll see you all in the next videos, and always remember, stay sweet and stay true. Bye!